Good morning, and welcome to First Parish in Framingham for our first live and in-person service in 79 Sundays. I'm the Reverend Aaron Stockwell, your senior minister, and it is an honor and a privilege to serve in this capacity. First Parish is a welcoming congregation. We welcome and celebrate all people of all gender identities, sexual orientations, races, ages, abilities, or beliefs. So whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. As you can probably imagine and as you probably know, we start this time together rusty, weary, restless, excited, joyful, and anxious. However you come here, you are welcome here. Whether you have been a faithful viewer of our online services and are still online, we have about 13 or so joining us there, or whether you tired of the online services quickly, you are welcome here. As I said, whether you are joining us in person or on Zoom, you are welcome. Our service today will look different, in case you didn't notice that. It will feel different than how you worshiped in the Meeting House Sanctuary. Some things are changed to be more safe. Other things are changed because of the setting we're in. And finally, other things might have changed because I've never led worship in person with you. We ask for your patience, grace, and understanding as we experiment in this new way of gathering. Very brief announcements. Please do sign in. Where is the sign in? It's all the way in the back. That will help us just keep track of who showed up. Also, if there's any need to do any contact tracing, we'll have a list of that. After the service, if you're using one of our chairs, please do put those away in the back there. And finally, also please do sign the letter of support and solidarity for Temple Beth Shalom, which will also go to Temple Beth Am as well. Some of you have already emailed saying that you want your signatures electronically. First Parish in Framingham has gathered since 1701. This community has been made what it is by people who are seeking peace, who are seeking meaning, who are seeking community. Those people are a lot like you. Welcome. It is good to be together once again. And welcome home. Our chalice will be lit by our ministerial intern, Elizabeth Murphy.
This morning's call to worship comes from Fred L. Hammond. After the oh my gods, after the tears, after the fears, unfounded and founded, after the adrenaline rush, vacant eyes stare into the vortex of nothing, where something else once stood. We start the slow pace walks through the thick black strap molasses of time. Was it this morning? Last week? Yesterday? That I, that you, that he, that she asked, is there life after all this? Beneath convoluted rubble, is there hope of returning to Eden's garden? The birds sing songs of life's affirmation. The flowers offer a rainbow's promise. Still, some things take more than 3 days to resurrect to their glory. Tell me the songbird's song is true. Tell me the flowers are honest in their beauty. And in this spirit, we light our chalice. If you're joining us at home, we invite you to light your chalice and type in the chat, the chalice is lit in our home, or the chalice is lit in my home.
And Vicky Carrion will sing the Unison Affirmation for all of us.
I invite you to repeat the words of affirmation in your hearts as I say them aloud. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve all life with compassion, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. This is our great covenant, one with another and with our God.
Today's story is all about containers. I think we all have a bit of an obsession with containers. In fact, there's a store called The Container Store, filled with containers that may well solve all of your life's problems. Or at least, that's the promise. And so I've brought along a container full of containers. And I thought we might just explore this concept together. This one's been ubiquitous in my home. The takeout container. After a long week or day of work, play, school, thinking through dinner is just one more thing. And so calling that favorite restaurant and having it delivered and all the good and promise that comes in the takeout container and then gets shoved into the back of your refrigerator with the hope of maybe lunch tomorrow, but instead 3-4 weeks later gets dug out with mold upon it and tossed, at least if you're in my home. As we dig a little closer and a little deeper, the vase or vase, the hope and promise of flowers, of life, of beauty, something to brighten a day. Or maybe just a container that gathers dust at the top of the back cabinet and is just the right shape for just the right flower, or never quite the right shape for the flowers that have entered your home, but you trim them down nonetheless, and you arrange them as best you can, and you put them at the front or the center of your table, and you relish the beauty of them. And as I dig a little deeper, another container of hope and promise. The Unitarian Universal symbol of life elixir, coffee, caffeine, tea, hot cocoa, whatever your choice of comfort that it holds. And then sometimes there's the container that you're not quite sure how to use. Is it a purse? Is it a basket? It's definitely New England. There's scrimshaw on it, for heaven's sakes. But what do you do with it? Where does it go in your home? But it's too beautiful to throw away, especially if, in like my case, it came from the generation before. It's stunning, but what does it hold? Maybe just memories. And as I dig even deeper into my box full of containers, there is this container. I use it every day. This is the dog waste bag. I've tried the biodegradable ones in the hopes that I do something better for the earth, but then I read that what my dog deposits is not good for the earth. And so I go with the non-biodegradable one because I found that the biodegradable ones biodegrade right in my hand as I am attempting to collect my dog's deposit. And so what does this bag hold besides the obvious? Does it hold my love and care for my pet? Perhaps. But I throw it away without a thought. And then there is this container, my pocket chalice, which has gotten such a workout in the last year and a half or more. This chalice holds a simple candle. It was made by Amy Caruso for me and members of the youth group one year. And so it holds so much more than just a flame. It holds my fear and my promise, my commitment. It holds this community in it. Such a small and shallow container can hold so very much. And then the ubiquitous cardboard box holds all those goodies from Amazon that get delivered to my home, holds the random bits and bobs of things that I'm trying to clean up and shove into anything to hide them if I have a surprise visitor coming, holds promise again, and holds absolutely nothing, and then is torn apart and recycled, ideally. But then I think to the larger containers of my life, to the container behind me, this building, this home, which, while empty for the last year and some months, has been nothing but full. It has held all of you. It has held all of you at home online, all of you here in person, all of those souls since 1701 who bring us closer together and to our own true and best selves. And in the back of our gathering, there is a glass container. It's not about the water that we bring from various far-flung locations. It's not about the water from Cape Cod or Yosemite or from your tap. It's about the vessel, the container that holds all of that and all of us together. And as I think through what yesterday brought for the 20-year anniversary of 9/11, I think of those containers as well, the containers of the skyscrapers and the airplanes and the empty barren fields in Pennsylvania. And I think about how so much of what we hold in our hearts is the ultimate container. Us, our hearts, our bodies, ourselves, and all of you. It is good to be together again.
Let us now take a moment to center ourselves in the ways that you know best. Whether that's feeling your feet on the ground, paying attention to the breath in and the breath out, or listening to sounds of children or cars driving by or the wind. O Spirit of life and love, named and unnamed, but who calls each one of us by our true first name, which is beloved. I give thanks for this gathering, for these grounds, for the chance to hear the laughter of the people I serve. It is good to gather. I give thanks for the staff and the volunteers who made this gathering today what it is, and who worked for 79 Sundays to make online worship happen. It was harder than what we do today. I gather in the memory of all those who died on September 11th, 2001, including 17 residents of Framingham who died that day. May we continue to heal from that collective trauma. O Spirit of life and love, May we work to bend the arc of the universe towards justice, where laws and societies are made more restrictive. Let us work to be a force to bend it towards justice. May all those who live in oppression be free. And of course, though we gather today, we know that there are those who are not with us, either online or elsewhere. May we recall those people. May all those who are ill, lonely, living with addiction, know that they are loved. And may we be love's hands out in the world. From time to time we slip up, we trip up, we fumble and fail with our words. Let us each be reminded that we are loved and lovable, and there is always room to grow back into right relationship. I say these words and do all things for love's sake. Amen. Let us sit in quiet for just a little bit, so that we might rest or pray the prayers of our own hearts.
It is good to be together, here in person, and through the technology that does and has kept us connected. There is much that is changing in the world around us, but our core need for one another has not changed, nor has the congregation's need for our financial support. We give to this church so that it may continue to be here when we need it. We give because we love the people and the container that make up this congregation. We give because in doing so, we believe in ourselves and are bringing into being a future for this congregation, just as those before us did so. But perhaps most importantly, we give because we believe. We believe in this community, in the connections to friends and values and faith that being a part of this congregation means. We believe in the justice that we can bring about together in the world. We believe in the staff and the volunteers who have faithfully ministered to us and with us. And we believe in one another and the difference that we can make together. Logistically, I invite you at the end of the service to place your gifts of financial contribution in the plate at the back of the courtyard, please make sure to put the paperweight on top of whatever you put in there so it doesn't blow away. And for those of you watching online, there should be a link to contribute or go to our website and click on donate. Thank you.
It has long been a tradition in our congregations at the beginning of a congregational year to collect water into a common vessel and then to bless it, making it holy. This year we won't be blessing the water quite yet. There is still water to be collected later today. Today instead we bless the container, the gathering vessel. We bless it because we recognize that without it, the water we would collect would be a puddle. It'd be a stream. It'd be something on a table. It would run everywhere. With a vessel, it has purpose. It has cohesion. And we bless not just the container we pour water into, but also this community. Without this container of First Parish, we would just be individuals going in every which direction. We might still be going in every which direction, even though we do have that container, but with a container, with a community, with values, we have purpose, we have shape. May this container, which holds our water and which holds us, be blessed and a blessing to our world. May it be strong and sturdy, and may we care for it in the ways that we know best. Feels a little bit like a family reunion today. So, like any good family reunion, we need to take some pictures just to make sure we see everybody. Take a selfie because I am a millennial and that is what we do. All right. I looked at the camera as well, not the screen, so it'll come out good. One of the more interesting and precise words in the English language, and Matt Crawford knows this word, I know, is petrichor. It's the smell of rain, a sign of something to come. I love collecting words like this that mean something so specific. The environmental author Terry Tempest Williams writes about it like this. In the desert, when the winds pick up and clouds roll in, a sweet and pungent aroma arrives, sharp and fresh. There is a word for this smell, petrichor. Lightning strikes, nitrogen and oxygen molecules split and separate into atoms. Some of these recombine into nitric oxide and dance in the atmosphere, sometimes producing a molecule made up of 3 oxygen atoms, ozone. She writes, I love the science of this pleasure. The scent of ozone heralds a storm because in the frenzy of a thunderstorm, call it a downdraft, winds carry ozone from higher levels to nose level. So when the desert smells like rain, it is ozone, petrichor. There's another level to petrichor, and it has to do with the oils exuded by certain plants in times of drought. When it rains, these oils that have been absorbed into the dry soil and rocks are released into the air with another compound known as geosmin. This phenomenon, added to the flash of lightning that creates ozone, creates the sweet smell of rain when it is needed most. Scientists believe that this aroma, she goes on to say, has a purpose beyond pleasure. As the smell follows rain into the desert, turning arroyos into creeks that run into rivers, certain fish receive these aromatic cues that alert them that this is a good time to spawn. Camels follow their nose to water. She closes by saying, paying attention to what appears to be peripheral, that is what interests me. This is what I want to write about. What is peripheral eventually it moves to the center, what rabbits know, what pronghorns know, what we have forgotten with our predatory eyes facing forward. What is peripheral is petrichor, the unmistakable scent of rain before it falls. And that is what I am feeling right now. While we may not be able to smell because of our masks or distance, we can sense that we are on the starting line of something new. Of course, like rain, the intensity of it and the context in which it falls matters greatly. A drizzle is different from a torrential downpour. Rain falling on a desert is different from rain falling on a waterlogged ground. However, it is the same rain that falls. It comes together nonetheless to form something larger and more powerful than it would be if it were just small drops of rain. If what Williams says is true, and I have no reason to believe that it isn't, the smell of anticipation activates something new and necessary inside of us. It activates the muscles inside of us that are oriented toward growth and new life, which we do in this container of our community. And when we are together in virtual ways, in person, or hybrid ways, we have even more power. And that is beautiful. Now, I've told the story, the Sufi tale of rain falling that wants to cross the desert many times. And it wants to cross the desert, but it wants to remain what it is. It doesn't want to change over to water vapor. It is a story about challenges can make us sing more beautifully. It is also a story about how we must change in order to get where we need to go. Change we have, and we will continue to change. And I think that's the only thing constant in life, is change. As I wrote in my email on Saturday morning, during this time when we gather once again, children have grown up, we have aged, our bodies have changed, some people have moved away or have died. You might be anxious, you might be okay, I'm fine, thanks. Others might not be. The journey and impact of the pandemic has been different for each one of us. My advice to you is to be gentle with yourself and others. We have to learn and relearn how to be in community. My home church in Groton says that they are a school for compassion and learning what it means to be human. And I know that this applies to us as well. So my friends gathered here and the 17 or 18 of us watching online, as the leaves turn their colors from the verdant greens to vermilion, orange, and gold, in this season of anticipation, ingathering, beginnings, and change, may we awaken that part of us that wants to grow, that seeks to change, that pays attention to the cycle of nature. May we find ways to connect to others, take care of ourselves, and that all helps to rebuild this beautiful and broken world. May it be so, and amen. And we will close our gathering today with Vicky singing for all of us Blue Boat Home.
Still my dry land heart can say
Of course, before we go, remember to place your donations, if you have them, your contributions, in the on the flowery table back there. If you have brought water, in the container there. Please do remember to sign in if you have not already, and remember to sign the letter of support for our Framingham Jewish congregations if you have not already. And as we leave this friendly place, let us take the light of love out into the world and use it to brighten our pathways. And when we need to rest or recharge, be challenged or affirmed, may that light guide us safely back. May we hold the light always, and the light hold us always. Amen. And go in peace.